Hi everyone, it's Sue here. Thanks for joining me today. I need to apologise to my subscribers, whoever's watching this, for not putting up a video since last week. I haven't been well. I've had another nasty flare-up of my diverticulitis, and I just haven't been able to do anything. So as I'm feeling a lot better, I'm going to do a video now. So I do apologise. Anyway, this video is inspired by Natasha at Treasure Books, and I can link her video below. It's what she called a page corner embellishment, or can be used as a bookmark. So if this was my journal, this one I've done on book page, and I've used scraps to collage it and then put an embellishment on the front. On the back I've put a smaller piece and rounded the corner, and that's going to be the other side, and I've actually decorated the other side as well, so you can see the book page here. So depending on which side you glue down or sew down, this piece will fit either the left or the right corner of the page. So for me, it's going to be fitting on, let me think, it's going to be fitting it's going to be fit so that this is the back, or can be the front, I guess, whichever, and then this is the other side here, the main side. So this can be used as a tuck, so if we had something that wanted to tuck under it, we could, and you know, you can embellish it according to the journal you're putting it in. So that's basically all it is. So I'm going to make a couple now and show you. So I'm not going to collage the next one. What I thought I'd do is make one out of some scraps of scrapbook paper. So I am going to make one. So what you want is, if you're going to use scrapbook paper or card, you want it thick enough to sort of stay on the corner, but thin enough not to crack when you bend it over. Okay, so we could make a smaller one, and it can be any size you want. So let's use this piece here, and that can be the back of a piece, and then maybe we'll use a piece of this for the front. So I'm going to just cut this down. So I am going to, so let me just measure this. So this is 2 3/4 of an inch, or it is just under 7.5, well, yeah, just under 7.5 centimeters. Okay, so if we said we wanted if I do a 9 centimeter piece, I think that will work. So I'm just going to mark that with a pencil, and so I'm going to try this and hope this works. And I want the best sort of portion of this page I can make, so I'm going to mark it there and there, like so. I'm going to cut that down and see how we get on. So they're very versatile. It's a great idea, I think. She was inspired by another YouTube video by a different crafter. I forget the name she gave, but I think every time you see a video on YouTube, it's nice to sort of make it your own, isn't it? You know, so I'm not sure that's totally straight, that side, so I'm just going to even that up a bit. think my blade is getting a little bit blunt, so I'm just going to trim that down like that. Okay, so that is that, and the other piece, which has got antlers on, so I thought it would be nice, can go on the back. So I'm just going to see, I'm going to make this squared off, so this is actually going to be a different size. So let me see now. Let me do it. Just looking, I wanted that to be a bit smaller maybe, or you could probably make it the same size, it's up to you. So let's do that. Let's make it 7 centimeters, and again I want to try and get the best, so I'm going to do 14. So I've got a back and a front, and you'll see why in a minute. So I'm just going to cut that down here. I hope that makes sense. Anyway, so basically you want a piece that you can fold in half. Like that. Okay, so we can put that away for a minute, and we're going to fold this in half like so. It's actually going to turn out very similar shape to the one I made, look. So I'm folding it in half, making sure that my edges kind of meet, and I just use my bone folder to give that a crease. So that's going to be your front, and that is obviously going to be your back. Actually, I like that side better, so that will be my front. So I'm going to glue this down. Now you can glue, or you can sew around it, or you can just use your glue stick and put a little bit of glue on to keep it together until you sew around it. So I'm just going to do that. Don't know whether I'll sew mine or not at the moment, but we'll see. Okay, so I like that. Yeah, I don't think there's a lot of difference, but I like that. So that's my front. Okay, so this time I'm going to put my back piece on this side here, so that, no, on the opposite side, on this side here. Right, I have to make sure it's round the right way. Okay, so this is the front, and we want the piece to go on the back, and it's going to go maybe, now do I want to use that piece, or do I want to find a different piece? I'll look at what I've got out. I've got this nice piece I could put on the back, which I think goes very nicely. See, what I didn't account for is that that's now upside down. What I should have done is cut down there and join them up so they face. So I'm going to cover mine up now with another piece, and I'm going to make it just slightly shorter. So I'm just going to measure it there and there. So there are no rules, so let's see what this turns out like. That's one thing I've learned today, if I'm using scrapbook paper, unless it's double-sided, of course, and then obviously you'll probably be okay. So where's my other mark? I always have a job looking for marks. So let's do it again. So we're there and there. Oh, there it is. I immediately saw it as soon as I put them together. Okay, right. So this is what we want here. Okay, so I want mine to be, so this one was that way round. I want mine to be stuck this way round. So I'm going to take my corner rounder and I'm going to use 7mm and corner around that side. You don't have to, but it does look nice. And then I'm going to stick this down, or you, as I say, you can sew it. Now you want to remember that the wider you make that glue line, the more it's going to stand up from the page. So if I go back to this one, and you know, obviously if you're making a journal where you don't mind things sticking out, so if I go back to this one, and this one goes on like this. Okay, so you've got to tuck both sides. You can see it does stick out there and there. Okay, but some people like their journals to have bits sticking out. I don't mind. So I'm going to do a very thin bead on this one. So let's do it on this piece. So you only want to glue, so you're only gluing along the top, down the side. That's all you're gluing. So I'm going to hold the corner, the rounded corner, and then I'm gluing the side, the top. It's a very thin bead because I want to try and make this one not stick out too much. And then I'm going to pop that on like so. Now I don't have a dry wipe available today, which is unusual for me. I have a bit of tissue. Let's just use that. Okay, so that's our piece. Okay, so that's the front. Now you can decorate that how you want. If it's quite busy paper like this is, I don't want to cover up too much. So I might kind of have scraps, you know, I might have this scrap of lace would be quite nice. That might go down here perhaps. Which is quite nice if it's going to be really pinky. Or you can put an alternative piece on. I mean, I could put a matching piece on there, but I don't think I will. I could put some washi tape on if you want. I have got some embellishments here. I just picked out a few different ones, not necessarily in any particular order, but I could, you know, put something on there if I want to. Just looking to see if I've got anything. So I could put, you know, that number 251 on there, and maybe we could have a small butterfly or something in the top corner. Maybe there's a nice green one. That looks quite nice, I guess. I mean, it's what you want to put on it, really. There's a smaller number label there. That might be quite nice to have those. So there's some greenery, and just keep it simple. So I've got a little bit of scrap material here that equally that could go on there, and it just makes it a bit simple. Or the butterfly can go up there on it like so. So which shall I use it for? This or this? And that will be there. So it goes up there, and then I have a bit of this here, maybe. That's quite nice. I quite like that. I'm not going to overthink it today. I'm just going to go with it. So I'm going to glue that down. I think this butterfly is probably one of the Tim Holtz snippety things. Where did I put my tissue? Gone already. So just going to cut this down a little bit. Maybe that side, like so. Oh gosh, that's very tough. Very tough indeed. Right. Okay, so we'll just fray that a little bit more on the sides. And then this is going to go on here. So I'm going to put that down here. And have that up the top. Like so. And then this can fit down there. And that's just a little bit more interest than there was. Just straightening this up. Don't get a lot of wriggle time with the art glitter, I find. There, so that's my front, and then the back. Let's see, what should we put on the back? What have we got here? This box of tricks. That's too big. That would be quite nice. So you can't really see any of the design unless I had it that way. Got a field label there, and maybe we could have a number. So I've got some scraps of numbers here. Have I got anything else number wise? Yes, I've got these. Have a number. Just a simple thing like that. I will go around this because there's a little bit of edge to it. Just a very light. So I'm going to pop that down there. Now I could put something underneath that. So let's put maybe a scrap of this pink. And we could put that kind of under there like so. Or here would be quite nice. And then we could have a number. Let's pop this down. I just want it hanging over a tiny bit, not too much. And you can embellish however you want, with as little or as much as you want, really. So I'm going to pop that there. And then I think maybe, let's see. What this number 2 looks like. It's very stylized. I must, every time I come on, I say I must clean my scissors, and I do clean them, but they don't stay clean for very long. So I'm wondering whether to just pop that here. Do I like that or not? Sort of gets lost. Maybe this one with the extra numbers on it would be nice. Decisions. Cut those off. And maybe have that there, and possibly these underneath. Maybe we could have those here. That's quite nice. Right, we're going to put those down. Like so. And I'm going to split this into a couple of episodes, because there are a couple of other ways of making them, and I wanted to show you them, but I don't want to do them all in one video. I want to keep them short. So that's the back really, which is also embellished, and you can embellish them more when you put them in your journal. You know, it depends on if you've got a journal that you're halfway through or you're in the process of putting together, then obviously, just trying to pin the glue, obviously you can make it to that style. But if we get our bogus little journal page, here it is. So, you know, it does still stick out a little bit, but, and you could make them really, I think, any shape you wanted. I think they're quite nice. I like them. I do like them. So that's that one. Okay. So let's make, what about we make a different sort of style one, and we make perhaps a bee themed one. Just got some bits of bee paper here. Just as I say, just scraps. That's all they are. Bit of scrap of that. So let's pop that back. So we make one more, and now this is non-directional. I could make a smaller one of these, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to keep it together, and I'm going to make a smaller one. So I'm just going to take that much off there, like so, and maybe that last line of bees, like that. And perhaps I will round the corners of this with the 7mm, like that, because I quite like the way that looks. So then I'm going to glue this one down, not even measuring, I'm just gluing this down. So if you're sewing around them, again, you have to be careful how far in from the edge your sewing comes. So this is non-directional really, because there are bees up and bees down. So that's okay. Okay, right. So let's think about a piece to go on the back. So what have we got? Here we've got on the back, we could make a small piece, like strip like that. So you don't have to cover the whole thing. You could have a strip like that, and that would still, if you had your journal page, say that was glued and that was the edge, that would still fit on like so. I used to have a different, so we'll make that style. So I'm going to measure that down and just trim that edge off, like that. Okay, and I'm going to round the corner of, so it's going to be another one that's going to be on that corner like so. So I'm going to round this corner here in the bottom, hopefully. Yep, that's done it. Okay, right, and I'm going to stick that on, there. So again, I just want a thin bead, I think when it spreads out, if you put too much on it and then glues too much down, so we just try and make that as thin a line as we can. And that is going on this way. No, hang on a minute. It's going that way, like that. I'll just stop and think then. Okay, so try not to squash it down. This is my, I think this is what I'm doing. I'm squashing it down with my fingers when I should get my bone fold and squash it outwards. Okay, like that. So there's so little on it that it's not sticking. Okay, hopefully that will stick down. Okay, right, I've just got a little bit of an overhang. Take that off. It's all sticking to my scissors. And then we can decorate. So what I've got in my little embellishment lid here, I mean obviously I've got that, which is majorly big. We don't want that, but I think I did get a bee out here somewhere. I think I had a bee. Has he buzzed off though when he saw what I might be thinking of doing with him? So there's a nice bee there, and we've got quite a nice label there. I quite like that. So let's put the bee on. I have to just go around that because this is another one from the Tim Holtz, one of his packs. I mixed them all up, so I don't know what's what now. But they often have like an edge to them. So I'm going to put that there, just a bit different. So I'm going to put that already on. And we can put that on top of a bit of scrap. Let's see how it dries. Something scrappy do. A little scrap of paper here. It's got a bit of copper on it, so that's quite nice. So I'm just going to tear that down, make it smaller, and let's pop that there on here like so. And just give that a bit of glue underneath, like that. It's a bit of interest there. Okay, that's it. And then my bee, I've got my scrap jar of bits. I think I will look for something I can pop them onto to make a bit of a statement. I'm not keen on that. Let's see what else we've got. So I have got some of this, which is gold, which is quite nice. Is that going to be too much? That's quite pretty. We'll leave that there for a second. I've packed away my roll of sort of Hessian ribbon stuff that I use quite a lot, because we have got the house up for sale and I'm trying to keep the place as tidy and clear of whatever junk they say. It's not really junk, is it? But some people perceive it as junk. So that's quite nice because there's a little flower on that. No, I think I'm going to put that on. Okay, put that lid there. Okay, so this one's going up here, like so. And it's going to be sort of at an angle, I think. Like that. And pop the bee on. See this? And then I'll do episode 2 and I'll show you a different version. I'll make a prototype so you can see what I mean. Put a bit more glue under there. So I'm just going to pop that under there because that wing is sticking up a bit where it's on a layer of something. So that's one side, and then this side here we only want to keep it simple. Now I've got this scrap of bee paper and I've got a trio of beehives. So what I'm going to do is see whether I can cut out a circle of these. We'll try this one. Let's take that out, then I can actually see what I'm doing. So I'm just going to pop that in and try and see what that looks like. Is that going to look okay? I quite like making circles. So there's your beehives there, and that may have to go on a strip of something anyway. So let's see what else we've got in this wondrous jar of goodies. Oh, it's more falling out. So I've just got another piece of that. I just dig deep in it and see what I can find. I've got something to show up that piece. So this is what I mean. This, I don't know what it's called now. Fibre, you know, that I have a roll of it, and I don't know where I've put it now, but I love using that. But that's not big enough, and I don't think there's anything in here that of that nature that's bigger. We've got some crochet, a scrap of all the fibres of everything else gets stuck on these, but we've got a little scrap of this we could cut down. That might be quite nice. That shows them up quite nicely. Let's trim that down, see if we can make that tidier. Quite like the frayed edges, but I just want to tidy it up a minute. Take that off. And then I think that's a good way round. So we could have that peeking over the just there and have our circle there. Do I like that, or do I want it on something fine like this, which is just quite lovely? I'm not 100% sure now of what I want to do. So this is what takes up the time, I find, for me, is, you know, trying to decide what I'm actually going to use. So that's why I do try very hard to literally choose very quickly, you know, the first thing usually that jumps out at me. Try and use that if I can. So I'm just having a poke around. If I can't find anything else, then we'll have to make a decision. What's that? It's got to a stage where they are very, very tiny, these pieces, a majority of them now. So I've got this. Let's see what this looks like. This is quite fine. I just want something to show that up. Yeah, that's quite nice. Yeah, because I could embellish it further later. So have I got any scraps of eyelash trim? That would be nice to have a bit of that under, I think. Just going to get my eyelash trim out and see if I can find a little scrap of something. Oh, this is nice. So we could take a little bit of this and also put that here and put that on top. That's quite nice. Yeah, it's everywhere, this eyelash trim. It's all over the place now. Only just got it out. There's a little bit here of a nice sort of let's have a look. So here's my eyelash trim, which soon have to go into a bigger container. Oh, I don't know what those are doing in there. So, what you find, honestly. So this is quite nice, this colour as well. So I could just take a tiny smidgen of that. So I will tidy that up, that box, and have that as well. I love those colours. So that, I think, really makes a difference. So I'm going to put those on. You'll be very pleased to know that I've made a decision. Oh dear. So we want this first. Pop that there. Like so. Just takes a few. If it's material, it tends to take a few seconds to adhere. I'm just blobbing some bits on glue and sort of, you know, twisting that round a bit, and then do the same with this one. Sticks to everything. And I'm going to pop that on there. So that's going to have to dry. I just have to hold it down, I think, for a minute. I use my bone folder to sort of press it down while I pin the glue. And put things back. Okay, so I possibly need a little bit more glue on that. Let's just pin the glue back down, but okay, making a bit of a mess. I think that's probably going to be fine. Like so. Still need a bit more down here, I think. Oops. It's a good job it dries up very, very clear. Right. Okay, so that's basic embellishing. So we'll put these away and recap what I've made for this particular type. And where's our fake? So this one is going to fit on the page like this, and that will be the front. Then you turn it over, and then obviously you've got a tuck on the back, and you've got a nice little tuck on the front, and it's just a lovely, lovely thing. And if you're reading a book, you can put that on your book as well as a bookmark, and I think it's just lovely. So we've got 3 here, 3 different types all made. So I hope you enjoyed that, and it gave you some inspiration. And I'll do I try to do the next episode later on tonight, and then I'll play that the next day. Okay, thanks for joining me. Bye bye.